Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the Acceptable Losses podcast, where Kirioth or someone is going to send us screaming, begging, and crying for help through a new grim, dark world. And we also have Pancreas. Hello, Pancreas. Welcome. And, oh yeah, Kirioth, you tell us about the Patreon. That's right. Yep. Go ahead, Kirioth.
We have stuff. We have stuff at patreon.com/acceptablelosses. We have 2 Patreon-only shorter episodes that you can go and listen to right now if you sign up. One on The Jaunt and one on the Temple of Metamorphosis from Trench Crusade. There is another one going to be released very soon, and we're going to be recording another batch pretty soon as well. So there is exclusive and fancy things for you, plus there's audio-only versions early and video-only versions. Video-only? No, that'd be terrible. It's an audio format. You get the audio and the video. What a bad idea that would be. You get stuff early, basically. Full episodes early and your own exclusive stuff in between. So yeah, patreon.com/acceptablelosses. Go and check it out. It's quality.
Kirioth, would you say those Patreon episodes are longer than you'd think?
I would definitely say that they are longer than you'd think.
Cool.
Definitely longer than you'd think.
Definitely check out that Jaunt episode, eh? Also, I know Shy posted about it on the Acceptable Losses Discord, but the merch is in the works. It has just kind of been delayed a little bit, I think, because it's just a lot. So the merch and the founders packs have not been forgotten. It's just, they're getting worked on. Don't worry. It'll be here. It'll be here when it's here. So just in case anyone was wondering, yeah.
We've not forgotten. You will receive your stuff. I promise.
A wizard is neither late nor early. He arrives precisely when he means to.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Hello, Acceptable Losses, folks. I am a mysterious person you have never heard of named Bricky. I'm giving you an update for the merchandise. For those of you who purchase a bundle, we have begun the production for the bundles. We have actually had the wall scrolls already delivered and some have already been shipped out. And the remaining coins, pins, and stuff are on their way over as we start working through the crew necks and shirts, getting all your numbers going. For the most part, there's been a slight delay in production for the overseas stuff, but that's mainly because of the holidays and then Chinese New Year coming up relatively soon. But for the most part, we're trucking along. Things are good. I did also want to offer a special little extra shirt as well. Fantastic artist of the channel, Ted Zero, put together a let's call it a very topical shirt. The You Like Sci-Fi, right? Shirt as well. That is now going to be a permanent staple on the Acceptable Losses merch store. For the current moment, however, it's going to launch $5 off and for free shipping for the entire first week. This is specifically because I wanted to have a little bit of an extra opportunity for those of you who are waiting on your bundles, where if you order any of this, we can just go ahead and ship it directly with your bundle anyway, package it alongside. So there's really no reason I would ever want to charge you for shipping again. If you didn't get the bundle, then I guess just enjoy a discount and free shipping in that case. Only to the US, sorry, international stuff is kind of crazy. And yeah, thank you again so much for supporting Shy, DK, and Kirioth's brand new podcast. And also thank you for giving me a chance to go ahead and get some of this stuff rolling. You'll start seeing stuff shipping hopefully pretty soon. And if you want to add this to your bundle or just get a brand new shirt, it is going to be discounted with free shipping for the next week. So please do enjoy. Just make sure to use discount code SCI-FI, literally just SCI-FI, no capitalization, nothing. Discount code SCI-FI, easy peasy.
I was going to say, in this case, the wizard is Bricky, but that's placing a huge amount of personal responsibility on Bricky there. It's on the way. It's all good. Don't worry about it.
Mm-hmm. All right. So what am I gonna have nightmares about tonight, Kirioth?
Well, we have another of Possum's absolute favorite universes, and this is an introduction to said universe. Today we're going to talk about Shadowrun, and I will say, having gone through and checked out everything Possum has to say. Good Lord, this is a vast and complicated world, and there is so much material for it. It feels like another World of Darkness / Vampire the Masquerade situation where there is the surface level, and then beneath that you have infinite hours of stuff to cover. So, I mean, very, very promising for the future. But yeah, we're going to talk about Shadowrun, which is mad, and I already like it. Just from like the preliminary check through, I was like, this is good.
Yeah, this is like a TTRPG, right? This is like one of those tabletop, I don't want to say Dungeons and Dragons style things, but it's like one of those big narrative tabletop deals. So I would imagine there is a lot to cover, and I'm sure there are, a lot of subsurface stuff too. So I when you were like, "Oh yeah, it's just a trifle 16-page script," I was like, "Whoa." All right.
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, it started in 1989, and the last, like the latest version of it was published in 2019. So they're all the way up to not just 5th edition, but like a sort of rework and re-release of 5th edition, but later on called 6th World, which will make sense in a moment. And I also, just out of curiosity, I was like, oh, in the Wikipedia article, there's like a list of Shadowrun books. I'm going to put it in just so you can have a quick look and draw your own conclusions from the sheer length of this page.
Oh wow, these are all
my lord.
These are all Shadowrun, like are these like lore books, or are these like codex? Oh boy.
We've got adventures, we've got individuals, compilations, we've got like expansions to the setting, expansions to the different versions or editions of it. I believe there's a few novels in there as well. Yeah, it's an extensive article. There's a lot of books.
Oh yeah, I had to stop scrolling because I was like, damn, I'm never gonna get to the bottom, and I had to manually move wow.
Yeah, it's always a good sign when the little, the scroll bar on the right side of the screen is as small as it can be. That's oh my.
I was like, where do I click on the scroll bar to make it move faster? I can't. Oh, that's a small scroll. Oh no!
Into itself in awe of the page it's having to display.
I was in the pool. Because it shrunk.
See, I'm very curious because, Shy informed me that I'm going to like Goblinization. So either, there's more going on with that than it just sounds like, or I have been talking about goblins a lot lately and I just didn't realize it. I'm
damn.
Either way, I'm excited.
We'll get there, and it is I would argue just as fun as it sounds, possibly more so even. But we have a quote to start with, which you don't need to guess what it is because we've already said. But we have: watch your back, shoot straight, conserve ammo, and never ever cut a deal with a dragon.
That's good advice. Dragons are trouble. Mm-hmm.
It's a good start.
Slippery customers all the way around. If you want to play as an orc spirit shaman breaking into corporate black sites, it's a game for you. Yep. Yeah, that I think that sums it up really nicely. So, one of the most common tropes in fantasy is the idea that the world of magic comes to a closure by receding while the age of man comes to the forefront. Magic faces this inevitability of humanity's ambition and retreats in favour of something dictated by industry and progress. But what if this was only temporary? What if the flow of magic was less a marker of the end of an era and more the marker of the end of a cycle? And what if this cycle was only temporary as well? The world of Shadowrun prior to 2011 is much like our own in the current era, but this is referred to as the Fifth World. This is an insane sentence, by the way, and it's going to make me laugh, even though I've read it several times already. The era of the mundane began with the sinking of Atlantis, specifically in August of 3113 BC. I mean,
Wow.
what a way to start. That's when mundanity started, when Atlantis
when Atlantis
sank.
sunk. Yeah, it doesn't sound like a mundane start. That sounds like quite a chaotic, crazy start. Or Atlantis was just party town of the galaxy, and it's like, oh, Atlantis is gone.
Right, no more fun.
Yeah, no more fun. Everything's mundane. God.
I love straight out the gate though. We know Atlantis is real, so that gives us a really nice starting point for entering into Shadowrun. Atlantis is 100% a thing.
There's no proof that Atlantis isn't real in our timeline. We just haven't found it yet.
Yeah, you know what? True. Within a given value of the word true.
Yeah, that's doing some heavy lifting.
It was made by the BattleTech folks too. Oh, if that's not a bit of encouragement for me as well. Hell yeah.
Watch out for the cable company.
Oh, well, the fantasy cable company as well as the sci-fi one. There's got to be a parallel in there somewhere.
Every cable company is corrupt, right? Like,
it's just,
I feel like
what happened to my internet?
I feel like that just comes with the package. Shout out to the 5 texts I've gotten over the last few days of them supposedly working on, the cable in the area and my internet randomly going out.
Hooray.
Good times when you need to upload things to make a living.
That's great.
So the sinking of Atlantis, it resulted in the retreating of magic and the horrors that came with it. But the prior era, known as the Fourth World, was actually a world of high fantasy. So you've got your elves, your dwarves, your dragons, and more. And when magic retreated, so did these beings. Some of them would just cease to exist, and others would hide in plain sight, knowing the existence of these cycles, and knowing that the era of the mundane was temporary. Magic would return to the world, and it would violently reclaim the land it once occupied freely. And unfortunately, this land would have its own problems. Because at this point, hyper-industrialization had resulted in the creation of urban sprawls where class discrepancies were the norm, and megacorporations had more rights than certain countries. The return of magic in an era called the Sixth World would not remove these problems, and in many ways, it would make them worse. Because of course it would.
I was going to say, that'd be like, oh yeah, in our current, once you were like, oh yeah, corporations have more rights than countries. I was like, boy, this sounds awfully familiar.
I'm going to prepare you now. There is a part of this script that it's too real to the extent that Possum even noted in it, like, I hate this. And I was like, oh, that's an odd note to leave in. And then I read the next bit and I was like, no, I see it. I see it 100%.
But yeah, thinking about like corporate corruption world of like even today, and then just being like, oh yeah, here's high fantasy magic. It's like, nope, don't want that. Nope. I don't like it. I don't like that at all.
What could go wrong? Mega corporations having access to arcane arts.
What if the corporate goons knew power word kill?
Yeah. Or worse.
No, your security guards should not be using disintegrate on people if they don't want to leave the building. That is not on. You need to train them better.
That's a problem for future me.
The vulnerable population of the world would be sort of blindsided by the appearance of fantastical animals that were once myth, and the races of fantasy would experience the brunt of fear and discrimination that humanity had been struggling with for generations. The world of Shadowrun was not ready for the return of magic, but it had no say in the matter, and the combination of high fantasy with urban decay would result in a low-life magic-fueled cyberpunk dystopia unlike any other in fiction. So today, we're going to go over the era of the mundane in the Fifth World and the return of magic in the Sixth World, and the consequences it would have leading up to the first edition of the game, released in 1989, which was set in 2050. Now, the current edition, by the way, is set in 2080. So even after we've been through all of this, we will have to catch up further.
God damn. All right, let's do it.
The other thing, well, two things really that we need to know beforehand. is that we are going to be going over nearly 50 years of world history in this episode. So there are things that are going to be glossed over or shortened quite a bit because, I mean, frankly, truncating this in anything less than like 4 episodes would be close to impossible. And a lot of this stuff can be expanded on in separate episodes dedicated to different areas or corporations. And I'm afraid there is a jab here, DK, aimed at you.
At me?
Yeah.
What did I do?
Yep. You don't need to worry. This episode will not spoil the 2007 Shadowrun game for the Xbox 360, nor will it spoil Shadowrun Dragonfall, and it also won't spoil Vampire the Masquerade or the Horus Heresy. So, just in case you were...
That's not a jab at me at all.
The teeth came out a little bit there with Possum, I feel like. There's a little bit of claw action going on there.
Yeah, well, we did an episode on Gotrek and Felix, and one of the common critiques was, you spoiled the best part of the book. Now no one will want to learn about Gotrek and Felix and read the books. How could you do it in a lore episode?
How dare you spoil these books in the setting that ends with, and then everyone died.
How dare you?
This is also a test of stoicism on Possum's part, by the way, because Possum could easily write about this for hours and probably will at some point. So, I mean, if we like it, there seems to be infinite material and Possum really wants to do more. So this seems like another situation where we might be set. And given that Pancreas, you've already signed up for 4 episodes covering Mage, potentially, we've got a nice like fishing line already in the water, just bobbing around to reel you in for 4 more on top of that.
What's another 4?
I was going to say, it's not a fishing line. It's just another manacle that's getting, attached to the wall.
This hole was made for me.
This is my hole.
Oh, that feels like that could be a short episode. Anyway, so we're going to start with early history, so pre-2000s, where the real beginning of the slide into a cyberpunk dystopia began with the election of Jeffrey Lynch as the 42nd president in 1992. But a few important events happened prior. Notably, there were 4 important births. Corin Yamanda in 1962, Wu Qian Li in 1968, Inazo Aneki in 1990, and Daniel Coleman in 1991. Yamanda would be one of the founders of Fuji Industrial Electronics, Wu Qian Li would be the founder of Wuxing Incorporated, and Aneki would create Renraku Computer Systems. And Daniel would also be important in a few years' time. It will make sense, don't worry. But I do like all of those great corporation foundings. And then there's Daniel. Daniel was also there and will continue to be so.
And damn Daniel, he's hanging around.
Damn, Daniel, back at it again with the white vans.
President Jeffrey Lynch's importance comes in the form of what he removed from the world in many ways, because he was a major deregulator, and history would come to view him as an extremely significant figure when it came to anti-government mentalities. Under his 2 terms, 4 Supreme Court justices would retire, and his replacements would hand down some of the most important rulings in the court's history. Luckily, no parallels with real life there, so we can just move swiftly.
I was going to say, yeah, Supreme Court justices retired. There really is no parallel with our real world.
It gets worse as well. That's the worst thing. It gets worse. Well, then again, that's the whole point of the podcast, isn't it? So,
yeah.
Nothing like digging a hole.
So on his own, Lynch would oversee huge swathes of federal spending cuts, including social service programs and defensive programs. Elsewhere in the world, Imori Shiawase would take control of the once floundering Shiawase Corporation in Osaka and bring it into its golden age and increase its presence in the United States. But this would come at an exceptionally high cost energy-wise. To offset this, Shiawase would speak to the Nuclear Regulatory Commission and request that they be given the ability to open up their own nuclear power plant that would serve them and them alone, resulting in cost stabilization in the region and effectively putting them on their own grid. The NRC would decline, understandably so, and Shiawase would challenge this, forcing the case eventually to the Supreme Court. I do like that that's the catalyst. It's just literally a private corporation going, yeah, just let us build our own nuclear power plants on your territory. What's the problem?
What could possibly go wrong? And why don't you want to be a part of us not giving you any of it? Nice.
Just because you're the Regulatory Commission, why should we have to abide by that?
It's crazy.
I missed the part where that's my problem. Come on.
That feels like a what could go right if we do this thing.
It really does.
Yeah.
During this time in the late 90s, specifically 1998, the NYC branch of the IBT, the International Brotherhood of Teamsters, truckers would go on strike. This would cause a severe food shortage in New York. The state would attempt to appease the union at the start of 1999, and the IBT would decline it, triggering month-long food riots. This would come to a head in February, where a truck that was believed to be a food transport vehicle was attacked on Staten Island. However, this was actually a vehicle operated by Ceretec Medical Research, and the riot involving this vehicle would result in a siege in their New Jersey facility, killing 200 rioters and 20 Ceretec employees. That is quite the escalation.
Yikes.
It's always it's a good sign of when a riot turns into a siege.
Yeah, that's not great. So this was like a medical truck with medical supplies, and rioters just like, nah, those are ours now.
They were after food. They thought it was food. It's not food.
Oh boy, that's not what you. It's like, all right, we got food. I wonder what's in here. It's medical. Oh no. The consequences of my actions have found me again. This is not good.
The shift from riot to siege is particularly crazy. Like those are some organized rioters. Although, mind you, I immediately, upon reading the word siege, think like proper organization. It was probably not that, was it? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
It was, I guess to be fair, a siege, that it doesn't need to be organized. It's just kind of, we're around and we're not leaving.
Mm-hmm. Also, it is taking all my willpower not to boss baby every time we say siege. I'm not going to do it, though. It's fine. It's fine. I'm totally normal and totally well-adjusted. Go on.
You're not allowed to. You're not allowed to boss baby the word siege.
Nope.
Siege is too common and historical a term for that to be a boss baby moment.
Yeah, but you all know what I would say. You all know what it would get boss baby to. So is it? Is it Kirioth?
Man, me reading a medieval history textbook. This is just like the Iron Warriors. Wow.
Damn.
Christ. Following this, the government would sue Ceretec for negligence caused by the security forces of Ceretec, convicting them of this issue, but this would be appealed, and it would make its way up to the Supreme Court, where the appeal would result in the Ceretec decision. Ruling in Ceretec's favour, the decision would uphold any private corporation's right to maintain an armed force to protect their personal property and employees, and that these forces were a public benefit as it allowed for the freeing up of law enforcement to take care of private citizens and not corporations, which in essence would mean that corporations would be capable of training and maintaining their own private armies. What could possibly go wrong here?
Oh boy, that feels like another what could possibly go right situation. Oh boy, don't like that. Don't like corporations having their own basically private military. Don't love that.
They're speed running the cyberpunk dystopia. It's like, well, it's coming anyways. Let's just get it. Let's just get the ball rolling.
Push the snowball downhill.
Yeah. And making sure it's big enough to take people out along the way before you even start the roll.
Oh yeah, the snowball's already the size of a boulder.
Now, we enter the 2000s, where the other pressing Supreme Court case with Shiawase would not be resolved until 2000, but it would have its own strange events that year. On January 1st, in the Edgebrook Woods, strange ferrets would be found. These ferrets, dubbed century ferrets, would be the first true evidence that magic was seeping back into the world. Also, on the same day, Quebec declared independence from Canada.
I'm not touching that one with the 10-foot pole. All right, I'm not. Nope. I have
not my
no
circus,
comments. Yeah, exactly.
I believe that is that's a sort of correlation is not the same as causation. I don't think the century ferrets made a political maneuver. It just happened to happen on the same day. Oh, Shai's got a map of the Shadowrun world, and it's fucked up.
No.
We love
But it's
a good
just
map.
a map. What could possibly go wrong with the map? I mean, it's just a map.
The overall layout of this world is absolutely bonkers. Like it's mad.
Is this like a Oh man, I'm gonna boss baby. I'm sorry. Is this like a old world fantasy thing where it's like, oh look, this is our fantasy world, and it's just Earth. It's just like a 1-to-1. Look, it's Cathay.
I mean, we have been talking about like Staten Island. I assume that's if you.
Well, that's true.
There is an
Yeah.
excuse for it to just be Earth.
That's true. That's true. You're right.
Yeah. It's literally Earth, but severely messed up by
Whoa.
everything.
Man.
Just everything
But,
has gone wrong, really.
Yeah, it's a
some of these
couple of borders.
Yeah, some of these are. I'm also noticing the Balkans are just red.
Yeah,
So
we don't
true.
have to worry about that. Don't worry.
So true.
It's not a problem. It's not an issue.
Oh no. Oh no.
Someone said the word Yugoslavia, and it was like shooting a car in Left 4 Dead.
Oh no. Well,
So in July, the Supreme Court would hand down the Shiawase Decision 1, which, first decision is a bit ominous, and it would rule that the corporation was well within its rights to build its own nuclear power reactors that didn't require oversight from the NCR. This power plant would become fully operational in November, and suspiciously, within a week, an eco-terrorist group called Headfirst would attack the plant. Every member of this group would be killed by the private security forces of Shiawase, and the NCR would initiate a lawsuit against them again for recklessness and negligence, and their lawyers would argue that the only solution would be for them to be granted extraterritoriality so that they could self-govern.
This is so they actually I'm trying to process everything that just happened. So they were given the right to have the power plant, have their own power, la-ti-da, and then terrorists decide that they want to like destroy it. The terrorists get killed, and then they're just like, "Whoa, see, you shouldn't have had it anyway." And they're like, "No, if we were able to self-govern, everything would have been fine."
Yeah.
Also, what the hell's going on here?
It hadn't even been up a week when the terrorist group attacked, and not one of them stayed at home. All of them went.
All of them
dead.
So there's no more terrorists. There's no more Terra First members.
Yeah, they're gone. They're all dead.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got them.
Yeah.
It's only mildly suspicious, isn't it? It's not, don't think about it too hard. What could they possibly have connected these two before this? We don't know.
Well, mildly is a stretch, but all right, go on.
Don't think about it. Just give us the right to self-govern.
Yeah.
Almost feels like this was all part of a bigger scheme or something for self-governance.
Oh,
I can see you thinking. Stop it. Stop thinking that.
Oh, you. Have a little faith in the megacorps.
This would, by extension, allow for more freedom for external forces such as federal authorities, and allow for incidents such as the terrorist attack to be handled as an internal manner. And in February of 2001, the Supreme Court would make its decision. The Shiawase Decision 2 would again rule in favour of the corporation, and it would declare that the property of not only that corporation, but also all corporations are in fact sovereign territory that is not subject to the jurisdiction of its surrounding nation.
Oh, that's not great. Oh boy. I all right.
DK,
That's awful.
DK, you're thinking again. Come on now. Don't worry about it.
He's my God, he's thinking again. Oh, okay.
Like, at this point, you would just have to accept that, if you were living in this world, either the Supreme Court is heavily stacked with extremely easily bribed or like insider judges, or Shiawase have got the most insane lawyers known to man. Like, what are they saying in there to achieve
Okay, no
such
los
goals?
dos, right? Why not both?
Every single one of them is Saul Goodman.
Yeah. I mean, it could be both too. They could have really cracked lawyers, but also, golly, a corrupt politician ain't no way, brother.
Great lawyers and corrupt judges go a long way. It turns
Yeah.
out they go all the way.
Yeah. Don't.
Now, you'd think that this, decision would be received poorly. France didn't.
No.
France, not a fan. They refused to acknowledge the extraterritoriality of any corporation. But this was actually a mistake on their part in some ways, because for many of the governments around the globe, this was an imperative decision because the allowance of sovereignty would allow for additional trade and commerce, especially since at this stage, corporations had the power of national governments. France would face almost a decade's worth of sanctions and would struggle to recover in the years to come. Though governments would bend the knee, citizens would fight back in some sense. During the G8 summit in 2001, protesters would make their voices heard, but they would be fired upon by the private security forces of many the attending corporations, and acts of resistance were viewed as terrorism.
Yeah, especially when you're self-governing megacorps, you probably don't have too much of an issue with gunning down protesters and rioters, do you?
I mean, you've been given permission, you might as well make use of it, right? I mean, at this point, it is literally, well, you are effectively your own country, but with more money.
Well,
But,
you do whatever the
yeah.
hell you want.
Yep. Hire me 100 of your worst men and arm them now.
Oh boy, that is bleak.
From the start of the new millennium onward, there is a major push by both Canada and the United States to move and relocate the many sovereign tribes of Native Americans from their territories so as to allow for corporate expansion. And in 2002, this would be dubbed as the Resource Rush. The goal was to claim as much land as possible, and this involved the respective governments to invoke eminent domain over national parks and native reservations so that land could be claimed and then licensed to megacorporations. This would result in the forming of the Sovereign American Indian Movement, or SAME, where groups of tribes would band together and push back aggressively at these attempts of displacement and destruction of their homes and the ruin of the national parks. At the same time, General Motors would consolidate itself along with other assets owned by the head of their board, Nicholas Aurelius, what a name, and all assets would be renamed Ares Macro Technology.
That's a dope name, at least.
Say at least, they got catchy names.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. Everything else, awful. Awful. Although Megacorp's trying to push out Native Americans from their, birthland and land that's of their ancestors and everything. That's unfortunately all too real, but yeah, this sucks.
Not a huge amount of fiction going on in that little section, to be honest, is there?
No, I was like, that's. Are you just reading the newspaper from like today?
So you've just copy and pasted a textbook. You've done no work on that one.
God, Possum, stop control copying the damn textbooks. What are you doing, brother? Jesus Christ. I hate to see it.
It's not great. The boom in corporations would result in rapid advancements in technology in the early 2000s, including EMP-proof optical chips, high-powered solar satellites that could send microwave energy to the surface in isolated regions, terrible idea, and suborbital planes that allowed for travel from London to Tokyo to be shortened to only a couple of hours. Due to the boom in technology and the accessibility of most of the world, cities and states would start to rapidly expand to accommodate the influxes in populations. So, for example, Seattle and Berlin would eventually become metroplexes, vast urban sprawls with an incredible population density. But where technology was thriving, the environment was failing. Insecurity would impact these metroplexes quite hard, and the disparity when it came to income would result in an ever-increasing homeless population that, in some cases, would exceed the population of some of the other non-metroplex cities.
Yeah.
That's
Possum, you gotta stop control copying the history books, dude. Like you gotta cut that out. Like you gotta actually come up with this stuff on your own, dude. You can't just keep. Oh boy.
I'm here to talk about fictional universes. I'm just reading the newspaper.
Yeah. We don't want to hear the news for today, Possum. We want to know about Shadowrun. Come on, dude.
don't worry. You're gonna have at least an equal amount of fiction invoked PTSD, Fallout episode style by the end. You'll be alright.
Great. Thanks for that.
Saying that, I mean, Seattle does now have, from the image I sent, the biggest Bass Pro pyramid there is. So I'd say it's worth it.
I mean, that does look great. That is great art. But yeah, love that Bass Pro fishing pyramid. Love that. Love that.
Even I know what the Bass Pro Pyramid is.
Mhm.
I'm from England. That's how famous the Bass Pro Pyramid has become.
I'm not sure famous is the right word, but sure.
Decisive Bass Pro cultural victory.
Hell yeah. America, USA, USA.
Don't worry. Things are about to get worse. Landfills in the former East Germany, long abandoned, would leak poisons into the ground, causing areas to become uninhabitable. The Baltic Sea and the North Sea would become so toxic that all communities around it would be unable to survive. And the worst flash flood in recorded history would strike Germany, causing Hamburg to essentially be covered in toxic sludge. The displacement of millions of people would put increasing stress on the local government, who were slowly losing their own power. Nuclear meltdowns would occur in Denmark and the United Kingdom, causing Kent to be renamed as the Kent Irradiated Zone, and chemical warfare would rock Libya, as well as the Baltic states. Good times.
Yep. Oh yeah, that's an actual headline that Shai posted. Rainwater everywhere on Earth, unsafe to drink due to forever chemicals. Hooray.
I don't want to read that.
That's why I read it for you.
I don't like it.
Nope.
I think that's fair. Be hard pressed to find someone who did, I'm pretty sure. That's hardly a controversial statement, is it? I'm not a fan of toxic rainwater. Oh, really?
Hooray, acid rain.
Another person lost to the woke mind virus.
God. Oh, no.
Our grandparents drank toxic rain and they were fine.
Yeah.
So, 2005 would see the election of Philip Bester as President of the United States, and he would slash all forms of remaining public broadcasting, resulting in the full privatization of media and information. And several months later, Manhattan would experience an unusually strong earthquake, decimating most of the New York City skyline and claiming the lives of over 200,000 people. The estimated damage, just rough. The estimated damage exceeded $200 billion.
Oof.
This, however, would result in the movement of the stock exchange from New York and the movement of the UN General Assembly to Geneva. Elsewhere in the world, the president of South Korea would be assassinated by a supposed North Korean agent, causing a full-fledged war with Japan's support. In actuality, the assassin was sent out with Japan's corporate interests in mind, obviously, and with the hopes of a full invasion of North Korea to allow for further corporate expansion.
Yeah, that sounds about right for Shadowrun's world so far. Yep.
Everything is lining up.
Just
Mhm.
rushing down the awful stairs full tilt. North Korea would attempt to attack Japan directly during this, but this would only embolden Japan, forcing a full-fledged front. The war would result in an overwhelming South Korean victory, and Japan would proclaim it as well as itself as the Japanese imperial state and would become isolationist.
Never in the history of Japan would they ever think of becoming isolationist. Never. Never happen.
Oh, it's this. No matter when parts of it were written, some of it just feels very, very too close. I don't know, like
evergreen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yep.
In 2008, the major cartels and other scattered corporations in Central America would unify under the name Oro Corporation and would eventually become known as Technology. They would find a massive cache of, oh no, I looked this up earlier and my mind's gone blank. Molybdenum?
Oh,
Sure.
molybdenum. Yeah, that's what I would say.
Molybdenum,
Molybdenum. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go for that. They found a load of that and claimed a total monopoly on it. Now, this is the bit that Possum simply put, God, I hate this bit. The state legislature of Texas would pass laws allowing for the creation of urban militia units that would give the government the ability to assemble armed groups of private citizens so that they could fill in the gaps of law enforcement within the country.
Oh, no. Oh. No, we don't.
Yep. Let's just go on to the next.
Yeah, you said that group was called As Technology. That's kind of a cool play on words. As Technology. That's
the cartels and other scattered corporations of Central America. I like it. It's good.
Yeah, they've got cool names in Shadowrun.
Yeah.
The parallels are driving me insane on the inside, but on the outside, I'm all smiles.
I have a sudden urge to bolt my doors and never go outside, but, it sounds cool.
Yeah.
But aesthetically,
what cool names, though.
Citizens would also have the right to contract private security firms for communal protection, by the way. So you could hire your own private army to look after your road if you really wanted to. I don't think anyone who was going to be affected by that would have the money to do so. But allegedly, the option is there. This would result in similar laws becoming the norm globally, and police and public services becoming more and more privatized. Germany, due to the volume of ecological disasters, would become a series of nation-states held together by a struggling government, and the conflicts within native land in the US would only get worse. The United Oil Industries would claim they had a right to drill in 1/4 of the remaining federal parks, and the same would attack them. They would infiltrate the Shiloh launch facility in Montana and capture an ICBM as well as 16 Lone Eagle warheads and hold them ransom, requesting the return of all stolen land.
Yeah,
oh dear.
You don't love that. You don't love when those things get stolen. Yeah, that's not. That sucks.
Has there ever been a positive sentence that had the word ICBM in it? I just feel like it's one of those words where in any sort of fiction you read it and immediately go, that's just bad times. The context is irrelevant. You just don't want to read that combination of letters in any form of fiction.
No. Well, I mean, maybe if it's like, oh yeah, like in a fictional book, it's like, we've decided to dismantle all ICBMs across the world. They don't exist anymore. You can't use them. Maybe.
I feel like even in that kind of fiction, though, like it's like that the sentence is immediately followed with, and then the aliens invaded or something.
And then nobody agreed and launched them all.
Yeah. They all came to an agreement, and then someone pressed the button, and then that's the end of the book. The US Army would recapture the base, but not before one of the ICBMs, carrying 5 megaton multiple independently targetable re-entry warheads, would be launched accidentally towards Russia.
Accidentally. Oopsie poopsie. Launched all the warheads at Russia. What the hell?
Did they trip?
Yeah. Were they trying to disarm it and accidentally hit the big red fire button instead? Like, what happened?
Oh god, I walked into this chair and then I sort of stumbled a bit, and when my elbow landed on the keyboard, I somehow directly typed in Russia. I'm not really sure how it happened, but I don't know.
Jesus.
Can't help being a Gemini.
Retrograde, dude.
The president would attempt to stop this, but no interceptors were within routing distance. The president would attempt to warn the Kremlin about it and say that there was nothing they could do and to tell them to brace for impact. The missile, however, would suddenly vanish in midair and is still missing to this day.
Oh, that's not great. Also, I love that America's warning is like, hey, there's an ICBM that has like 4 of these like warheads on it coming for the Kremlin. I guess brace for impact as much as you can. I don't think it's going to matter, but like you should probably brace, I guess.
Don't shoot it down. Just, get in the bathtub.
It's just,
hope.
Get in the lead fridge. Like, what are you going to do?
It's fine, though. The missile just vanishes in midair. And it's still missing. Nothing to worry about. The actions of the same would cause the United States and Canada to pass actions permitting them to fully take back all Native American lands.
Oh, of course.
It's just the motto for this podcast, outside of you like sci-fi, right? It could simply be, and then it gets worse. At this point, we get to the 2010s, which is the Awakening. This would be...
We're not even 2010 yet. Oh my god!
yeah. It is dense. There's a lot goes on, and there's as Parson pointed out, there's stuff that we just haven't mentioned or
because we have
sort of
to
glossed over. Yeah,
crazy.
So this whole thing would be hampered by a pandemic. God. Virally induced toxic allergy syndrome, or VITUS, would emerge, and from 2010 to 2012 would kill almost a quarter of the world's population. I'm not laughing because loads of people died. It's just the escalation in this universe feels insane at every turn.
A quarter of the population dies from this pandemic? Holy God.
Yeah.
Is there a number attached to that? Or are they just like, look, the number is so big, we're just going to say a quarter of the population died and just leave the actual number to your imagination?
It's just down as a quarter of the world's population into the billions.
That'd be like 2 billion people.
Yeah, at least, right?
Yeah.
It's got to be in the billions.
Absolutely insane escalation.
Staggering amount of dead people. What they do with all the bodies?
Well, Soylent Green is made of people, so...
Yeah, but they're all infected. So you can't even Soylent Green them. They'll just pass around the pandemic.
It's like boil out the germs.
Ah, of course. Silly me.
Anything. That's how, again, to bring up grandparents, that's how they cooked everything anyway. Everything's edible if you boil it for long enough.
That's right. You're across the pond. You would boil everything.
Oh God! I tell you what, the reliance on boiled vegetables from a certain generation in this country was atrocious.
Yeah.
You can roast potatoes, right? You don't have to just wait until they become disintegrated white mush in a pan. You know that, Grandma. You do, don't you? Don't like it that way. Oh, I see. We're going to go for the consistency of week-old porridge approach again. Awesome. Lovely.
I'm so sorry, Kirioth. Anyway, so a quarter of the population is dead. What happens
sorry,
then?
a bit of food trauma slipped through there. My apologies. So after the whole the increase in stakes is so mad, though. When you think about before this, it was the United States and Canada were going after the Native American lands, and then the thing that hampered it was a quarter of the world's population died of a pandemic. Like, that is horrific. That is such a scale up.
Just a small hurdle, right?
Oh, the governments of Mexico and Indonesia would fully collapse. An environmental event known as the Black Tide would hit the coast of the North Sea, causing major population disruptions that were already reeling from the spread of the pandemic. There's no other way to segue into this, but BMW would merge with Sader Munitions and Krupp Manufacturing and form Sader Krupp. It becomes a relevant thing, but there was no easy way to get that around the whole, billions dead thing. But 2011 would have a very significant long-term effect on the world. The first of many children would be born with a condition known as unexplained genetic expression. Newsweek would begin to describe these UGE children as elves and dwarves, as part of some sort of meta-humanity. We'll come back to truly explain what meta-humanity is in 2021, because that's when it gets a bit more out of hand. Magic had been seeping into the world, and on December 24th, this would culminate in an event known as the Awakening. Now, the following events would occur on the same day. It's a hell of a busy day, this. A great dragon named Ryumio would appear on Mount Fuji. A storm of pure mana would sweep across the Australian outback. And Daniel Coleman, who we mentioned briefly earlier, would lead a walkout from a Native American detainment camp. He would be shot at by guards, but the bullets would bounce off of him. He would be glowing with pure energy, and he and the rest of the captives would leave unscathed.
Well, that is an awful. That is a busy day. Oh, is that the dragon that showed up on Mount? Why? Okay, I don't know if this is more of a indictment on my mind. Why does the dragon have a nipple ring?
Look, you can't be out here shaming people for what they want to do to their own bodies, right?
I'm just curious. That's why.
God forbid a fellow want to, accessorize a bit.
I mean, hey, it looks great on him. He's got the scales for it. It's just that one ring. There's no other accessories anywhere. I guess his nose has got some too, doesn't it? But I don't know. That's just why is the dragon got nipple rings?
It could have some more going down like the back along the fins. You just can't see them.
That's true.
You see a dragon emerge out of an erupting volcano, and your first question is, why is it got
It's
nipple
the
rings?
nipple ring.
I love that being the very not holy shit. There's a dragon. Instead, it's why has that dragon got the person?
To be fair, it was holy shit. That's a dragon. Is that a nipple ring? It's just you don't expect to see that on a dragon.
The best reporter of his time, asking the important questions.
It's also. You're in for a hell of a long day when a man blocking bullets with the power of magic is not the most interesting thing happening that day.
Yeah.
Hell of a day. Hell of a news day.
Well, over the next few days, ley lines and a bunch of stones, basically Stonehenge 2, would emerge all over Britain. And the second known great dragon, the Welsh dragon Celidir, would be spotted in... Now, hang on. I know how to pronounce this. I checked. Caerleon. There we go. It's spelt weird. Not weird. It's spelt in a language that isn't English. The emergence of these stones would cause 2 nuclear plants in the UK to suffer meltdowns. The one in Scotland would result in the creation of the Scottish Irradiated Zone. More nuclear plant meltdowns on the way, by the way. It's not the first or the last.
Hooray.
At this point, more and more children with UGE were being born, and the Pope, John Paul IV, would be very calm and reasonable about it.
He wasn't calm and reasonable about it, was he?
Something tells me you're telling me a fib.
Yeah. Something tells me this is followed by just the worst discrimination in the history of Shadowrun.
I mean, you know what? Because you said that. Because,
You've got a
I think
quote, don't
sometimes-
you son of a bitch?
This isn't even a quote. I just want you to read this specific sentence.
Oh, okay.
Of how accurate you were.
Oh my god.
He would call them abominations in the eyes of God. Well,
So, yeah.
welcome to Shadowrun, everyone.
Thank you, Pope.
Yeah, from the Pope.
Thank you, Pope Jean Paul. Very Christian of you. Major subsets of Catholicism would rise up against the Vatican in response to this, causing a splinter in the church. Good. Oh my god.
Mhm.
What? More and more dragons would appear during this time as well. Some in southern Mexico, some in China. But on January the 27th, in Cherry Creek Lake in Denver, the great western dragon Dunkelzahn, who is Possum's beloved, it specifically says in the script, my beloved, would emerge. This is, I mean, even by the standards of the rest of this script, he would, and Possum is not making this up, give a 12-hour television interview to a reporter where he would explain the awakening.
Wait, the dragon is giving a 12-hour interview?
Yeah.
Does the dragon have a human form, or is he just like sitting there?
Do you know what? I'm going to just directly read what Possum has put here.
Okay.
DK, don't ask any questions about dragons. I promise you I'll explain it in a little bit.
The immediate clocking by Possum is fucking wild.
Possum
God.
knows you well by now, dude. Possum knows you all too well.
Son of a bitch. All right, fine. Go on. I guess I can't ask any questions about this.
Oh,
Kuzan had a fascination with the Matrix.
What?
oh, don't worry. There's forthcoming information about Dunkelzahn that it's some of my favorite stuff I've read about a dragon ever.
Just a part of
but
me
we'll
that hopes
get
he
to
just runs around like this big dragon that's like, I know Kung Fu or something like that, you know?
He immediately demands a 50-foot-long trench coat.
And the shades, the mirror reflective shades. Yeah.
Oh my god. What an image. Amazing. On the not so great side of things, another great dragon by the name of Feuerswing? I think that's how I'm pronounced. I think that's right. Feuerswing?
Put it in the chat. Let's see. Oh,
It's definitely
God.
sort of Germanish. It's
Yeah, that
close
seems
enough,
like
right?
a Firschwing or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this great dragon decided to rampage across the remnants of Germany for 4 months.
Oh. All right.
It did stop, don't worry, because it was eventually killed by the military.
Huh.
So,
All right.
the contrast, again, is incredible. One great dragon shows up and is like, allow me to explain, humans, for things are changing. Another one wakes up and goes, fuck this country in particular, for 4 months solid.
Until the military finally kills it.
War. Yeah.
So these dragons are not like immortal. Like you can kill them.
That is the
Obviously.
first known kill of a dragon.
Also,
The military taking down that one.
what's that dragon in Japan doing? Because that one just kind of showed up, right? Is it not that special?
Just hanging out.
Just chilling at the moment.
It's just chilling on Mount. All right, I hear it's a lovely mountain, so sure.
asking for more nipple rings.
He's looking for a piercing shot.
Gone on a buying spree on Etsy, looking for handcrafted. These would not be the only great dragons to appear, by the way, as a dragon by the name of Lofwyr would make his presence known as well. Now, corporations at this stage would start to expand their conflicts with one another into open warfare, and this would result in the creation of the Intercorporate Council to handle disputes. This was made by 7 of the largest corporations at the time. Got BMW, Ares Industries, Shiwase, Mitsualma Computer Technologies, Oro, Karuba, and JRJ International. Also, in 2014, Pope John Paul IV would die, and John XV would take his place. And he would not be much better. Most
John
of
the 15th. Come up with a new fucking name, man. Jesus. The 15th? It's John. It's the most milquetoast name ever. Sorry, it's completely inconsequential. Go ahead.
It is.
Apologies to all the Johns listening.
Oh yeah, oops.
Also, with this map, it is not a good sign when I see several rising sun flags and the CAS. That is.
Oh boy,
that is not bode well.
I just clicked on it, and yeah, you don't love that. You don't love that California Free State is a rising sun flag with a bear in it. Oh boy.
Where's the other head?
Oh yeah, the new California Republic. Yeah. All right, that's cool. That's
Welcome back, the Confederacy. Oh boy.
oh Jesus. Yeah.
Oh,
Sick, bro.
something that throws me a little bit with that map is UCAS in the UK is like I think it's like the regulatory body for universities. So that's really throwing me off seeing that there.
Crazy.
Okay, so we've got a new pope. Not much better than the old pope, but most of the Catholic bishops would continue their denouncing of the papacy. Also this year, Daniel Coleman, now going by the name Daniel Howling Coyote, would announce the formation of the Native American Nations, or NAN, and demand sovereignty. Shortly thereafter, the Redondo volcano would erupt and destroy Los Alamos. Daniel would claim responsibility for this by calling on the Earth to help him in his reclamation efforts of the United States. Federal troops would attempt to capture him, but unnatural tornadoes would delay the troops enough for him to escape.
Sure. Hell yeah. Also, that's the man that knows how to pick a name. He's like, Daniel? No. Howling Coyote. Nice.
He also worked out that he had magic powers and went, I know exactly what I'm doing with this. Not only that, but I'm gonna do it well as well.
Mm-hmm.
What if the opening 10 minutes of The Wizard of Oz never stopped?
Daniel, however, would not be the only one utilising magic, as the Awakening would result in magic abilities becoming kind of the norm at this point. Laws were passed to attempt to combat this, but most would result in more issues due to how fast all of this was happening. It also seemed like things were appearing out of nowhere, and things were a lot older than they seemed. Remember those ferrets from the year 2000? Well, they were an example of a spike, which is the term used to describe magic things appearing that are not congruent with a regular life cycle. Metahumans who were of adult age and older were just kind of there in some respect, mostly elves, including Liam O'Connor. He is an elf that was born in 1979. He would eventually become the leader of the Provisional Irish Republican Army, and he would work on the full capturing of Ireland for reasons that will be explained a bit later. Also, more magical beasts would appear, including creatures long thought to be extinct. This sounds like a terrible time to be alive in this world. Just flat out awful from top to bottom.
Yeah, but it's exciting. I mean, you never know what's gonna pop up next. Could be a dragon. Dragon might love you and want to get an exclusive interview. Might want to raise your country to the ground. Who knows? It's,
a country already ruined by a toxic sludge landslide, a plague, or like a pandemic that wiped out a quarter of the population. It's like, I can't believe we survived all this. Surprise, motherfucker. Here's a dragon. A mythical beast that you didn't think existed has just eaten your neighbours.
Yeah.
You're like, what do you do? There's nothing, is there?
Yeah, and we had a few parallels before, but 2026 is looking downright tame compared to oopsie doopsie dragon raising and quarter of the population dead from the pandemic. Oh, by the way, tornadoes popping up, just never stopping, and as you
Shout out to the hero in that little hovercraft flying right to the dragon. He thinks, yeah, I'm that guy. I got this.
The dragon's just like, you're not that guy, pal. You're not that guy.
Oh, it really is that. Nah, I'd win.
Christ.
We are going to move now to the Great Ghost Dance. So we're in 2015 through to 2016, and it will be a time of major political strife. In 2015, Central America would fully unite under the name Aztlan. On October the 15th, 2016, the US president would be assassinated, and on Halloween, an event known as Bloody Monday would occur. On that day, the leaders of Russia, the UK, and Israel would all be assassinated. Due to the influx of political Due to the influx of political crimes, world leaders would become more and more isolationists, and political dissonance was immediately fought against with the full force of the government's respective militaries.
Yeah,
I mean,
I guess so. Sure. I mean, yeah. You know, that's.
and then you got to remember there's also dwarves, elves, and dragons. That bit just seems so like actual could really happen. There's points during this where I had to sort of remind myself, and dragons.
And dragons, yeah.
Yeah. The new US president, William Jarman, would issue an executive order ordering the removal of all Native Americans from the United States through any means necessary.
Oh boy.
But Howling Coyote would counter this with the most aggressive show of force against the United States in the history of the country, because in August of 2017, an event known as the Great Ghost Dance would occur. This ritual would cause a borderline apocalyptic spike in mana, resulting in every volcano in the United States erupting.
Well, how many volcanoes are in the U.S.? Like, how many?
Well,
I mean, apparently enough.
I mean, one of them is Yellowstone, so that alone is
Sure, that's not
true.
that's also not great. Sure, yeah, but like, how many volcanoes are there that like he could set off? I genuinely don't know. Aside from like the big one that we mentioned.
Now, Google AI overview reckons approximately 169. So it could be a different number to that, but that's a lot.
It looks like if you're on the East Coast, you're more or less fine. But it looks like if you're in the West Coast and this volcano thing pops off, you're fucked.
Good luck, bozo.
Or like, you know, if you're in Hawaii, you're extra special fucked too, because, you know.
169 all going off at once. Oh,
nice.
Well,
with this map, I'm curious about the other segment, like, you know, extinct, dormant, active. I get all the what is other? It only erupts on alternating Wednesdays.
It does say other, and I didn't even. Actually, a lot of them are listed as other, right?
These other like we're pretty sure that's a volcano, but we can't really tell. Like, I don't know.
I think it's a volcano.
It could just be a mountain with a hole in it, though. We're not sure.
It could be the second Bass Pro Shop film. Just overgrown.
That's how they're made. Wow.
It's a natural process.
Yeah. Push Earth, push, and out
them.
comes a Bass Pro Pyramid. Yeah. Jeez.
So local government...
The Great Ghost dancing at the second base, Bass Pro Shop Pyramid. No.
Mr. Corporate President, there's been a second Great Ghost dance.
No. Oh, no, you killed Kirioth.
Oh, God. Funnily enough, the volcanoes did no favors to the US. The local governments
really?
Understatement of the century. Local governments had already been breaking with the central US government, and the passage of that order and the resulting retaliation caused the US to shudder. Hawaii would become independent, and NATO would collapse, and the bordering nations of Canada and Aztlan needed a solution. The Treaty of Denver would cede land from the US and Canada to form the Native American nations officially as a conditional surrender of the US and Canada to the NAN. The NAN would cover most of the central and western United States, save for Seattle, which would be an extraterritorial extension of the US, so they had some access to the Pacific. It would be full sovereignty for the Nan. The Nan would be particularly accepting of metahumans, and for the following decades will be at odds with the remnants of the United States over this issue.
Yeah. Well, also, did you say Hawaii became independent? Because I was going to say Hawaii exists after the whole...
people left on it are now independent.
They started their own little, we're independent. There's 3 of you.
Less a formal declaration and more a few guys in a boat just shouting, "Fuck you guys.
We need supplies, please. There's tens of us here." Sorry, Hawaii, you're great, but if a ghost dance hits and all the volcanoes go off, yeah,
not ideal.
Not the ideal spot to be in. No.
But where there was some form of unity, collapse was happening elsewhere. Major parts of China would be split into separate provinces, and the European Union would be suspended. Due to it being a part of the US still, Seattle would become a major hub for refugees, both private citizen-wise and corporate interest-wise. Technology was now also dramatically increased due to magic. A privately owned low-orbit space station known as Apollo would be completed by Ares, and the first cyberlimb implantation would be a success. The creation of Apollo Station would result in Ares creating their own space program, and the stars would become of great interest to the corporations. But, there were some genuine attempts at genuine recovery at this point. Germany even reunited. But 2021 would bring an end to that and result in a huge issue that is still ongoing and force the entire world to come to terms with meta-humanity. And this, you're going to be excited. The title for this section is simply Goblinization.
Let's go!
Here it is.
This might be my favourite sentence of the entire thing. On April 30th, 2021, without any warning, 10% of the global world population would violently mutate and transform into orcs and trolls in an event known as Goblinization.
Oh.
Just out of nowhere, because of all the upsurging mana and everything, just 10% of the population just... Oh, whoa, mate. And,
yeah, pretty much.
Sick, I guess.
People just turned into orcs and trolls. The thing is, people's bodies would suddenly begin to brutally change to accommodate the physiques of ancient trolls and orcs, and this change would be so overwhelming that it would physically tear some of them apart and kill them.
Great.
Oh,
that's okay.
I gotta imagine there's at least one guy who was just having the worst day, woke up late, got fired, something like that, and then to top it off, you are now a troll.
Well, at least it didn't rip him apart limb from limb as he transformed.
Yeah, fair enough. It could be like the guy next door who did the same thing but died.
The orc's probably like, "Oh, I wish you would have torn me apart. I still got to go to work." Also, is that's what the orcs look like? They're kind of fucking cool, actually. They look kind of sick.
Yeah.
That's a troll.
The trolls are... Yeah.
They look dope as hell, actually.
This is kind of like a good place to sort of explain what meta-humanity is. So despite some random spike events, the fantasy creatures of the fourth world filled a sort of ecological niche. When magic retreated, that niche was not really needed anymore. Magic has returned with a vengeance, and the niche needed to be filled immediately. Prior to the Goblinization event, which still occurs randomly in the modern era but less frequently, the only metahuman species were dwarves and elves. These are essentially the same as their respective fantasy races, but still somewhat vaguely human, so some dwarves differ based on region, like the dwarves of Central Europe are a variant known as gnomes, and the different colours of some elves are attributed to a thin layer of fur that covers their bodies. After Goblinization, we now have orcs and trolls. Each ones have their own subtypes, but are vaguely human. These aren't 40k orcs that are green. They look like humans with orc features and physiques. There's also Sasquatches around. They will be granted rights eventually, and they mostly do sound for movies. Don't worry about that too much right now, though.
Is that that's not just like, haha, I'm Possum, I make funny joke. That's a
No.
lore thing?
No. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Sure.
Talented voice actors, apparently.
What else are you going to have Bigfoot do? He still needs a job.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
I'm also, I don't know why this is the first thing I thought of, but I'm picturing like, I'm not even picturing like if I were, some
Nipple
guy
rings?
like, no, that one's firmly you.
Oh, okay.
But if you reject someone and then the next day they're an elf, look, if I was that, I'm ending my life.
Well,
Bag fumbled, the ultimate.
human, troll, and dwarf. Oh, that's like the size difference between all of them. Yeah.
That dwarf is rotund.
Yeah. Also, does he have is that like a spirit? Is that a wolf or a
Spirit
bear?
bear? Hell yeah.
That's a bear, right? Yeah. That's sick.
Well, yeah, probably a bear. It's kind of hard to tell, weirdly.
Yeah. Also, the elf looks
Also-
fine. It's just like a cyberpunk elf. It's whatever.
I do love a some sort of like punk gang elf, though.
That's just a picture of Michael Rooker.
Yeah, it is. In time, metahumanity would become a term to describe all of humanity, regardless of species, as even the most baseline of humans will have innate magic powers. There's also another problem that's been around for quite some time, known as HMHVV, or Human Metahuman Vampiric Virus.
Oh, great.
Of course.
This virus has 3 branches that impact a human or a metahuman and turns them into something else more horrific than their base form of humanity. HMHVV3 always turns someone into a ghoul, essentially something akin to an undead human, and nations of ghouls would begin to spring up. Now, there's a little chart here that Possum's done that indicates some of the things that you can change into if you get a particular form of HMHVV, which I'm struggling to say every single time. So if you're a human and you get HMHVV1, you'll become a vampire. If you get HMHVV2, you become a Loop Garrow. And if you get HMHVV1A, you become a Nosferatu. Presumably slightly different to a vampire. If you're an elf and you get the first one, because I'm not doing that every time, you become a Banshee. If you get the second one, a Harvester, which sounds really scary. And there's been one case of an elf turning into a Nosferatu. If you're a dwarf, if you get the first one, you turn into a goblin. The second one, you turn into a Nora. Orcs can turn into Wendigos. And if they get the second one, Grendel. Troll. Troll is something of a mess when it comes to the pronunciation, so I'm going to give it my best shot. A troll, if they get the first one, Zunukwa, sure. Fomere, I think.
Sure.
That's not that far off Fomorians, which are like a Irish folklore thing.
Mm-hmm.
I should know how to pronounce that, but I can't remember. And for the 1A, a Mutica or Mutica.
Sure. Bad. Yeah.
Bad
so
for them.
You don't want to get this thing. You don't want to get the vampiric virus, the HMHV. You don't want that.
Oh, dear Lord. Wow, that first one is...
Ooh.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. No, I'm good.
That's not ideal. That's not
nope.
what you want.
Nope. That's that man needs a trip to a dermatologist.
Definitely needs some skin cream.
Yeah.
All his muscles are like twisted round. Oh, don't like that. Also, Possum promised to talk about dragons a bit. So there's 2 different forms of dragons, or Draco forms, that you can find. There's just dragons that have some magic but are mostly just beasts. Then you have the great dragons. These are exceptionally powerful beings that existed in the Fourth World and slumbered until the Awakening. These dragons have an innate magic ability and are able to speak telepathically, but they can speak normally under one circumstance, which is that they take the form of a metahuman. For example, the dragon that appeared in Germany called Lofwyr, which we'll talk about in a bit, would take a metaform of a human with long steel hair and sharp golden eyes. And
Cool.
I even got an apology for this next sentence. Dunkelzahn would prefer to stay in his bright blue dragon form, but he would still be active online in various forums using the username The Big D.
Wow. That, all right, sure. I mean, when you're a big blue dragon, you do what the fuck you want, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
The Big D. Get the fuck out of here, man.
You kill the wrong guy at Counter-Strike too often and you're getting a visit from a
You agreed to knives only, and you pulled out a gun, and as such, a giant blue dragon called the Big D is going to sit on your house.
your bloodline is now forfeit.
Yeah. Now, when the Big D took the form, took a metaform, became a metahuman, he was a perfectly proportioned human, like Michelangelo's David, with curly brown hair, but he made sure that he was never taller than Abraham Lincoln because he respected him too much.
What?
I mean, pretty cool guy, but that's all right. Neat, okay.
Such a random thing for a giant blue Dunkelzahn or whatever his name is dragon to give a shit.
Oh, God. For all of the bits of this where I'm like, this is horrific, there have been a few moments where I'm also like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
What?
So statistically, someone had to be a weeb for Lincoln, I guess.
I guess, yeah.
Just happened to be the dragon.
Yep.
Can that be a t-shirt? I'm a weeb for Lincoln? Or is that... do we think that would sell?
I mean, it's copyright safe if nothing else. I don't think the Lincoln estate's coming after you.
Yeah, the Lincoln State. Yeah, totally.
They had bigger things to worry about, as it were.
Yeah. Or at least make it a sticker that you can slap on something, right?
Yeah. Anyway, back to Goblinization. The world would react to this in very different manners. Quebec, which has become fully autonomous, would grant full protection to those citizens who were transformed. The same with the Czech Republic and the Dominican Republic. The Dominican Republic was helped due to the fact that their president turned into an orc. Other nations would become less welcoming. Switzerland would declare Goblinization as a public health concern and would quarantine anyone who was Goblinized. Germany would also isolate those who were Goblinized. And Japan would annex an island in the Philippines and deport all metahumans there. Whether they were Goblinized or not, they just rounded up the lot of them and went, you live here now.
Cool.
Not sorry. Oh my God! Abominations have
Good
no rights.
Lord.
Metas or not?
Jesus.
Oh boy, that. Oh man, yeah. We gotta stop control copying the history books here, guys. Can't keep doing it.
Although, he does have a very big, is that like a caber? I think it's called. I think he's going.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Yeah,
that baton is bigger than the people around
He's
him.
going to push the issue quite violently if you make him.
Yeah. Holy shit!
What? How did he break his back? Well, the riot police hit him, and they used telegraph poles. So the weight was just too much.
I was gonna say the riot police gently nudged him out of the way, and that was enough to break someone's back. If he took a full swing, you are not getting up. You're
To shreds,
Like-
you say.
yeah, that's an impact weapon, but you're getting shredded for sure.
How's his wife doing? Oh, to shreds, you say.
The United States would be split on the whole goblinization thing. The governor of Seattle would push to have orcs and trolls locked away, while Texas's governor would strong arm the state into providing support. Switzerland would eventually feed further into anti-meta-humanity and past segregation laws, and these sentiments would find their way throughout the world. Groups of people would do their own justice on members of meta-humanity, and funding for magic-based programs would begin to be stripped. Oh, it's rough. So rough.
Yeah.
But as we have alluded to multiple times throughout, don't worry, it gets worse, because in 2022, Vitus would mutate and cripple the world again, killing another 10% of the population.
Fuck yeah, dude. We love it.
More plague, more plague, more plague.
More plague. At least it was only 10% this time.
Hooray, it
Yeah,
wasn't another
and-
quarter.
And because the first one wiped out so many people, it's like that's less people technically.
Yeah.
10% of 6 billion is, smaller than 10% of 8 billion.
You got to look on the bright side, all right? You've just got to... Why is there...
There's not too many bright sides here.
I am having impure thoughts at these images.
I mean, yeah, the orc girls are kind of fit, though. I
They are
definitely,
not outlawed in Shy's house.
yeah, they can, yeah, they can get
Not
it.
to
for
worry,
sure.
I am opening my house as a refugee camp to all goblinizations.
All orc girls welcome.
No humans allowed.
Now, the loss of another 10% of the population would cause more changes geopolitically. The nations of Cuba, Jamaica, Grenada, Bermuda, and the Virgin Islands would become the Caribbean League. Australia and New Zealand would become known as ANZAC, Australian and New Zealand Allied Confederation, and the Oro Corporation would become synonymous with Aztlan by rebranding itself officially as Aztechnology. The spread of Vitus too, combined with the increased anger over the treatment of meta-humanity, resulted in almost a solid year of violent riots. God, some were spurred directly for the rights of metahumans, but others were more anti-government pointed, as there was a belief among people in California that the US government was intentionally withholding treatment for Vitus 2 due to the influx of metahumanity. Internally, senators were violently at odds with one another over the rights of metahumanity, resulting in one senator challenging another to a duel.
Sure.
Feels like anything goes at this point, why not?
Mhm. Is this like a magic duel, or is this like a meet me at dawn and then slap him with your glove?
I would prefer it if it was, flintlock pistols at dawn. That would make it so much better.
They could have used spells, but nah, they were rolling up their sleeves and just going to town on each other.
A proper bare knuckle bro.
This influx of anger was accompanied by more odd fluctuations in magic. Much of France would be covered by an inexplicable mist that would cause thousands to go missing, and a I love that. And a PhD student would showcase how he had mastered a form of magic that specifically enhanced his physical abilities. One thing that we really haven't talked too much about is the increased reliance on technology. It'll come up a bit later, but we're starting to see more focus on digital-only forms of media around this time, and augments are becoming a bit more normalized. Speaking of normalization, after states took it upon themselves to push their own Bill of Rights for metahumans, the Supreme Court would grant equal rights to all of metahumanity. Now there's a little bit of good news.
That's
amongst...
nice.
Yeah. And then what happened?
And then the volcanoes erupted again.
Well, resource centers would start opening up around the country, including a very specific one in the Seattle Metroplex area, known as the Fort Lewis Zoological Gardens, which promised to explore goblinization and the strange paranormal animals popping up. So that's also good, and it's definitely and totally not a very sketchy place where experiments are happening. Honest.
Okay. Sure. Mm-hmm.
All right, you had your one nice thing. Back to the mines.
Yeah. The Ted Turner Stadium in Atlanta would be covered in experimental biotechnology that would use solar radiation not only to produce power, but also rapidly expand the growth of algae, which is becoming a big mainstay in food. As a means to embrace technology, the United States hosts its first ever fully electronic presidential election in 2024. It results in a landslide victory that is widely accused of being fraudulent, but no clear-cut evidence can be produced.
Yes, the newspaper. Good.
Oh, God.
Also, once you were like, oh, yeah, the algae has become a big part of their food, I was like, not again. Oh, God, not again. Not the algae food again. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. I like sci-fi. I like sci-fi.
Eat the moss.
Eat the algae. On your doomed voyage into the endless space where you will die.
If ever that becomes a thing of like, okay, we have found a new way to make enough food for everyone and it's algae based, I'm not going to be able to eat it.
Nope.
I'm just going to be like, I can't do
do
this. It just gives me existential dread.
Don't worry, you'll
Please
calm
don't do
down
that.
once you get used to the taste of it.
Yeah. So shortly after this landslide victory, the first ever SimSense entertainment unit was produced. This is a high-priced device that is a sort of sensory video player. Further elections are held around the world, both for establishing meta-human rights and for the restriction of magic. Now, let's check in on Pope John XV. Bad news. He saw an image of Mary and became more xenophobic.
Great!
But, hey, it's not all bad. Metahumans have souls and are capable of salvation, so that's something.
Oh no, that's really not actually. That's not great. I don't love it when the xenophobic pope is like, "Oh, I can save them. I just have to electrocute the bad out of them or something." And it's like, "Oh god. This is what he does, isn't it? He tries to save them and he just tortures them until no. Okay, go ahead."
So cynical. Why would you think so?
No reason.
You'll be happy to know, though, that the Catholic Church is still in ruins. So, business as usual there. Also in ruins is Japan, which has become a police state, but would have exceptional power financially.
Well, at least the shareholders are doing all right. You gotta keep that in mind. Come on now.
Yeah.
Think of the shareholders.
The mantra of Shadowrun, just think of the shareholders.
Think of the poor share. Also, are these like the elves that are popping up in Japan? Because I don't know if it's just because I'm a goddamn weeb, but that art goes hard as hell.
Wife.
Oh, that does look good.
That looks sick.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'd like to add they renamed Tokyo to Neo Tokyo because it is mandated. So Tokyo.
Something had to be Neo something. It might as well be Tokyo.
Mm-hmm. That means Doman Kashu's rolling around there somewhere. Don't worry, just forget it.
Look, it could be slightly worse. There could be Adam Smasher there, but they legally can't do that. So.
Nope. And fuck that guy anyway.
Oh god. At this point, it just keeps getting worse. At this point, refugees would flood into the Philippines and China for several years. The United Kingdom would split due to the fact that King George VII was killed due to improperly goblinizing into a troll. The throne becomes way to go. Imagine if that became a weirdly prophetic statement and King Charles goes out the same day.
If it happens, people are going to come back to this video and be like, how did Kirioth know?
He knew.
The throne of the UK would become contentious, and it split in two. The royal throne, where George Windsor Hanover would become King George VIII, and the office of the Lord Protector of the United Kingdom, named Edwin Gordon Windsor, who is a druid. The The UK would become more conservative, and officers of the British police would be armed with firearms. Oh, Jesus. Also, now to the sport. The first cybernetically enhanced Super Bowl would take place in 2025, resulting in the New York Jets winning thanks to a 99-yard touchdown pass thanks to his cyber arm.
Oh, yeah, this has to be fiction. There's no way. There's no parallels to real world. Jets ain't winning a Super Bowl anytime soon, brother. That's the biggest load of horse shit I've heard all day.
Even in cyberpunk fiction, the Bears can't have shit. God damn it. Come on, please.
I mean, I believe the big D before I believe the Jets are winning a Super Bowl with a touchdown. Nope.
99-yard touchdown too.
Yep. Have you seen the demoralized young Jets fan that's like, oh, what did you think of the game? I fucking hate this team. I'll always love the Jets, but I was born into it. But I hate this team, and he just walks.
Wait, are we talking an actual kid?
Yeah,
this is a real.
He's got to be like maybe 15 at the most. Like I hate this team. I was born into it. Always love the Jets, but I hate this team, and you can tell he's holding back tears of just like utter anger and disgust.
So defeated,
wearing a Jets jersey.
He's got like 1,000-yard stare the whole time. He's just upset.
Yeah.
Hey, and, in this timeline, that kid's finally having a good day.
Yeah, finally.
Only him.
His brain is in like a jar watching it though, but like he's like, it finally happened.
My dad might have turned into a troll, but at least the Jets won a Super Bowl.
The Jets won the Super Bowl.
Now, up until this point, some forms of little augments have been available here and there, but this would result in them becoming more and more the norm, ranging from actual limbs to more subtle implants and upgrades. Magical research, as well as it becoming synonymous with technology, would continue for the next few years, and the first cyber terminal would be set up in July of 2026, allowing for an operator to interface directly with the data networks of the world. These initial tests went very poorly, and laws would begin to fully take effect in certain parts of the world where magic practitioners would become regulated by the respective states or corporations for fear of what unmonitored magic can do. These studies would increase to perfect things such as metamagic and alchemy, which would hopefully result in the rapid advancement of life-saving treatments around the globe. Things are getting better, and you know what that means.
And then what happened?
Well, funny you should ask.
Mm-hmm.
This is simply subheaded The Crash.
Here we go.
On February the 8th, 2029, a virus of unknown origin and power would attack computer and data systems worldwide, burning out hardware, wiping software, and destroying the entire world data network.
So this is like if Y2K did everything everyone was scared it would do.
Yeah, pretty much.
At least this virus is for computers. I thought you were about to say, and then another plague hits.
Another 10% dead.
Yeah, as again though, worth pointing out, destroying the entire world data network is all gone. Plus, there's dragons. The crash, as it was dubbed, would bring the global economy to almost total collapse and would topple governments almost overnight. The crash would cause fail-safes in various labs to fail, causing the spread of pathogens and strange animals. Space stations around the globe would suffer critical failures, killing everyone on board, and planes would quite literally fall from the sky.
Wow, yeah, quite literally what they thought Y2K would do. Yeah. Also, I love it when a fail-safe fails. Why did you fucking name it that then?
I'm still waiting on the missile to come back.
It's
still out there somewhere.
And then it just reappeared and
the greatest loose thread, where it's just every other sentence you're just waiting for. And then the nuke came back and landed.
I mean, with the section called The Crash, I could see why you were like, does it come back? Is the ICBM back?
Is it here?
Is the ICBM in the room with you right now?
It's right behind me, isn't it?
Now, fortunately, there was some hope courtesy of Sony and Fuji Industrial. They had vastly improved the DEC technology found in cyber terminals, and they would send a group of cyber commandos known as Echo Mirage into the global data networks in hopes of clearing out the crash virus. What a name.
Echo Mirage.
Jeez. They have cyber commandos, and the PlayStation still has no games.
Except this time, the guys were actually busy saving the world, all right? Chill on the PS5, me.
I don't know if I trust that the corporate commandos are saving the world, DK. I don't know if I want to give them that benefit of the doubt.
Okay, fair.
You're going to be so embarrassed when I read this next bit, because these people are heroes. Within 18 minutes of entry, 4 of the Echo Mirage members would be killed by lethal biofeedback.
He died of melting.
This would be proven useful, though, because analysing the feedback would help create security protocols against the virus. So, it, again, swings and roundabouts.
This is something.
Yeah.
One thing that was also determined is that the decks used were almost impossibly powerful, and if they fell into the wrong hands, it could prove dangerous for any data server with an internet connection. The crash virus would be purged after 2 years of extensive research, and the focus on fighting the virus would result in the deck technology becoming more robust and more compact, to about the size of a desktop computer, and these would be commercially available in 2031. Also, for the sake of terminology, the widely connected internet in Shadowrun is referred to as both the grid and the matrix interchangeably, but the matrix is a symbolic representation of what the grid is, which is just your run-of-the-mill ones and zeros. So when a user is utilizing a cyber deck, they can sort of filter how the matrix looks to them as they access the grid, kind of like a texture pack or something, as they physically maneuver through the matrix with a manufactured avatar that serves as your in-matrix persona.
Yep. All I envisioned is Tron, because you said they move about the grid, and I was like, yes, the grid.
I now see why the dragon is fascinated with the Matrix. I would be too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's nothing to suggest that this sort of technology, like, it seems like a linear technology progression, sort of, except, enhanced by magic now. So that dragon was probably like, what the hell is this? The internet? Wow. This is incredible. He can watch
what?
Kirioth.
He can watch what? Say it. Say it with your chest, Kirioth.
Dragon discovers the internet and has not stopped cranking his hog ever since.
I was torn between meme compilations and shorts of Warhammer Plus content edited down and then overlaid with music that's too loud into indecipherable series that tell you that here's a space marine and something might have happened, but you'll never know what. I wasn't sure which way to go with it.
I was just going to go with straight up deviate. I was just going to deviancy and just be like, yeah, you found porn.
Dragon opens the internet and immediately learns about the time the Tau found a dreadnought older than their civilization.
Guys, you'll never believe it. People dress up as dragons and
Wait, there's a website here dedicated to tracking all of the bad dragons.
That's the one.
Dude, I better keep track of this. I guess this guy's not a law-abiding citizen. Oh, good Lord.
Oh, good Lord. Is that mine?
I've already signed up to the mailing list. How do I unsubscribe? How do I unsubscribe?
There must have been dragons around this whole time.
Yeah. Where did they get the mold for this?
Oh dear. Okay, so we're going to move into the 2030s. Though the world was rebounding from the crash, there was still a lack of unity. Corporations began blaming one another for manufacturing the crash virus, particularly as technology. A semi-large corporation known as Campana and Carindom would attempt to assault Az Technology to force them to prove that they created the virus. Az Technology would defend itself by wiping out the entirety of C&C.
Sure.
I mean,
as you do.
At this point, sure. A separate union. Another day in Shadowrun, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
And we're still not in where the current edition is set, by the way. We are still like 20 years out
Well, yeah,
from where the
didn't
game
you say like
currently is.
Shadow, like we would need a separate episode to cover the next 30 years after what the
I think we could probably do we could just keep making episodes on this.
Yeah.
I think we genuinely could. And I think Possum would be more than happy to. So
Yeah, well, yeah, it'd be like doing it like, oh yeah, here's an episode on Dungeons and Dragons, and it's like, here's the overarching story, and it's like, yeah, we could probably do a couple episodes more on it.
In between the mage script, please.
yeah. I feel like if we forced Possum to do the full 4-episode mage spread, that could cause sanity issues for really all of us. That could be a problem.
I heard he wanted to do it specifically for the ability to potentially torture all of us. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah, he's probably immune to it himself. It's more punishment on our part.
Mm-hmm.
A separate union in Seattle would form to discuss corporate misunderstandings, and the Megaplex had become a major corporate battleground. The United States and Canada were hit particularly hard by the crash, and in order to rebound, they would need to work together. They would form the United Canadian and American States, or the UCAS, so that they could share resources, especially considering that fusion power was becoming more and more prominent in light of the crash. In 2031, Russia would start the First Euro War and would invade Poland, Eastern Germany, and Austria.
Okay.
Let's just move on, shall we?
Yeah. Yep. We'll just.
Denmark, Finland, Norway, and Sweden would become known as the Scandinavian Union, while places like Sydney and Yakut would declare independence from their respective nations. We mentioned a while ago that security companies were becoming privatized, and one of the most prominent ones over the past few years is Lone Star Security Services. They would offer their services around the country, and in 2032, they would be granted extraterritoriality and full ownership of the Drug Enforcement Agency.
All right, sure. Yep.
Lovely.
What a setting.
Yeah.
What a setting.
And the hits just keep on coming.
Okay, I shall wait for Shy here.
Can you guess where Lone Star Security Services are based from? Golly, it certainly couldn't be the Lone Star State, could it? Austin, Texas. Well, Jesus Christ, who could have seen that coming? This is brand new information to me that could have never been guessed.
Look, we've got the dragon with nipple rings, the dragon that's obsessed with Abe Lincoln. One of them had to be the cowboy one.
So yeah, Lone Star Security, they now have control of the DEA, so that's nice. Another thing that was prominent was Global Financial Services, which have been struggling over the past few years due to the nature of the crash virus and the all-out wars being ushered in by certain corporations. In November of 2032, Global Financial Services would be hostilely taken over by the corporate court, thus assuring some degree of financial autonomy for all corporations and centralizing the global bank in the Zurich Orbital Gemeinschaftsbank? Gemeinschaftsbank.
Gesundheit. But yeah, Gemeinschaftsbank is that's how I'd pronounce it too. So good effort.
Close enough.
Yeah, that's Mm-hmm.
The poop and farting.
So true. So eloquently said.
Or Z-OGB. So, sure, that's fine. That's okay.
Wait, what? What do you mean it's also Z-ODG?
OGB.
How do you get Geheimnisschaftsbank into... Where's the... What? Why is there... all right, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
I don't know.
It's like the L in Colonel. Don't worry about it.
It's like there are two of those letters in Geheimnisschaftsbank. Where did the rest of it... It's fine, whatever. Just move on. It's whatever.
The word is nonsense.
To be fair, remember, it is the Zurich Orbital Gemeinschaftsbank, which is shy. Both Gemeinschaftsbank and... Wait, that's the same thing, isn't it? Gemeinschaftbank, but without the C in it, even though found in official Shadowrun material, are incorrect spellings that make no sense in German. So of course. I mean, to be fair, at this point in Shadowrun, Germany is half buried in toxic sludge and annihilated by a dragon.
Yeah.
There's probably not many people from Germany still around.
And it's
at
probably
this stage.
That's the best word they could spell with the brain trauma that whoever's left in Germany had.
Maybe it was someone who was a guy who had been turned into a troll that was trying to write it down. He just wasn't used to the hand. So
he's trying his best.
They forgot their language, and when they found all of the language books, all that was left were a couple torn pages. They're like, shit, well, we're missing a couple letters, but fuck it, we ball.
Close enough, we think. So yeah, the Zurich Orbital Gemeinschaftsbank would orbit around Earth on an Ares platform. Put your bank in space, keep it safe. Great idea.
What could
these
go wrong?
corporations? Yeah. Has anyone seen that ICBM?
Yo, come on, please.
No,
Where it is.
As these corporations controlled almost all functions within society, ranging from tech to basic food distribution, their presences were inevitable in all metroplexes, and of course they would be at odds with one another. Classic corporate mentality, except some would have more influence than others, and others would utilise different forms of magic as means to undercut others. Notably, as technology is known for the usage of blood magic, which is widely condemned by... what a sand.
I didn't even realize blood magic was a thing yet, but all right, sick, bro.
They're pioneers in the field.
Yeah. Holy.
I mean, the whole as technology thing, I liked it to begin with, but then following it up with them being known for the usage of blood magic is very sort of... I feel like I should have seen that coming.
Yeah.
You know? Mm-hmm. To be fair, widely condemned by other magicians and corporations, but the sheer size of Az Technology's presence, which is, the entirety of the former Central America and eventually part of California, makes it impossible for anyone to do anything about it. And, of course, in megaplexes like Seattle and Berlin, almost all corporate interests kind of converge. Now, this is probably a good point to talk about the corporations, specifically their power ranking right now. The biggest name corporations are referred to as AAA corporations, and by the 2030s, we will have quite a few. We have Ares Industries, Az Technology, JRJ International, Renraku Holdings, Mitsuama Computer Technologies, and Shiawase. In a few years, Seda Krupp will become one of the most powerful ones thanks to an ambitious dragon. Fuji Industrial Electronics will buy out JRJ International, and Yamatetsu will be elected to AAA standings. One thing that a lot of these companies have in common are that they're based in Japan. The majority of them, in fact. In 2012, the currency of Japan was changed to the new yen as part of the many acts that result in Japan becoming more of an imperial nation. And due to the influence of Japan and the corporations based there in the grand scheme of things currency-wise, the new yen would be established as the accepted reserve currency of the world. And if you're wondering, 1 new yen converts to 4 UCAS dollars and about 1.8 UK pounds sterling.
Damn.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
The reserve currency of the world.
Yeah.
Wow. The corporations weren't the only ones further expanding their self-autonomy, though. Also seeking full autonomy were elves. Many elven states have been popping up across the globe, but some had more of a drive for a dedicated elvish state. Seamus O'Kennedy has at this point taken over the entirety of Ireland, which is formally declared as Tir Naog, an elvish state that saw the departure of many metahumans. Tir Naog would become more of a purist nation of metahumanity and would push to expel many of the corporations that made their homes in former Ireland. And a similar movement would take place in Oregon in a few years' time in the form of Tir
Naog, I guess.
Yeah, I'm gonna just so you can suffer with me because it's not pronounced anything like
that. Tairngyre.
Tairngyre.
Thank you, Mr. Lone Star Security.
Always willing to help.
I feel like that you do like a little Missy at the end of it, but I don't know why.
Always willing to help, little Missy. It's getting you back to Tairngyre.
So Oregon would become that, which would be established as a separate nation within Portland, and the dragon Lothwyr would become one of the Council of Princes of it. Speaking of departures, the South decided to secede from UCAS. Worst of all, they decided to call themselves the Confederation of American States, or CAS.
Of course they did, of course. Yeah, but that fucking flag, dude. Jesus Christ.
Please put it away. Technology would attempt to unify everyone globally, however, as two scientists in Boston would form Matrix Systems, which would provide the first grey market cyber terminal known as the Portal. At this point in the world, the entirety of media and the internet/Matrix is fully privatized and corporately owned, and all access is heavily monitored. This portal is an attempt to make it free to everyone without oversight. Hopefully, this doesn't crash in a few months and the founders die in freak accidents. Hopefully. We can hope. Regardless, the accessibility has returned from across the internet, referred to as the Matrix, and the commercial availability of DeX and other Matrix-based technology has started to steadily increase. Another thing that would increase would be tensions around the world.
Golly, why?
Possum's segues in this are like next level. In 2036, California would secede from UCAS, prompting a partial invasion by Aztlan, and violence would intensify around the world against metahumanity. Lothwyr's ambitions would finally come to fruition, and he would hostilely take over BMW and Krupp, forming Seda Krupp. He would move the headquarters for it to Essen, and it would become a kingdom for him and him alone. The UCAS would attempt to keep tabs on all its citizens and roll out the System Identification Number. System, or that confused me, or SIN, requiring all citizens to register for a SIN.
Tick.
Very subtle storytelling there. Yeah. I like it. I know writers who use subtext, and eventually a SIN would become your universal identification and would allow you to access basic things like public transportation, bank accounts, and the Matrix. But not everyone would have a SIN, and those without SINs would have a difficult life. Many of these sinless individuals would take to a life of crime, and due to corporate influence, some would offer the opportunity to get a SIN in exchange for a little off-the-books grunt work. A new company, Dockwagon, would be founded in Georgia, and this would begin the full privatization of all paramedical services.
Oh, jeez. All right. Sure. Why not?
Add it to
the
old
old dog. Yeah. So those who are without sin are casting the first stone, huh? Is what you're saying? Yeah.
Except the first stone is a really big gun.
What's the equivalent of a dock wagon in Cyberpunk? I forget what the medical people are called, but you don't mess with them because they carry a lot of guns. But yeah, they're like a privatized medical thing too. I don't remember what they're called. They're like in the first mission you go on with what's his face. You save that lady with the platinum insurance, and then they swoop in and take her away, and they shove you and like, get away from the blah blah blah, and they've literally got you at gunpoint. I don't remember what they're called though. But it's
I never
same
played
idea.
Cyberpunk. I have no idea.
Are they just called
Yeah.
Are they just Trauma Team? I thought they had like a special name, like like how Max Tack is there. But I thought they had
Was
like a
that because
spiffy
of-
name.
Because of what they help with or what they cause, or is it just a mix of the two?
Yes.
Correct.
Just yes. Just in case you're wondering how Italy is getting on, it's collapsed, resulting in Venetia and Sicily to establish their own autonomous contracts. So another one gone. Another one bites the dust.
Welcome back, Medici's.
Yeah.
Now we're going to move into the 2040s and the Night of Rage.
My God.
Is the ICBM back?
God, please. Please.
Just want to know where it is.
Yeah.
Well, remember, Possum has written, remember that bit about rising tensions against meta-humanity, but that is essentially every bit.
chapter.
It feels like there's been some mention of that literally every single year from the moment they arrived. So I would think the answer to that is yes, we definitely remember the rising tensions against meta-humanity. Well, 2039 would be the full boiling point. February 7th of this year would be known as the Night of Rage. Disenfranchised metahumans would take to the streets around the world protesting about the rising hate and discrimination, and some of these protests would turn violent, especially in Seattle. Guards of the Metroplex would arrest a huge swathe of protesters and put them in a detention center. This detention center would be firebombed by anti-metahuman protesters, killing almost everyone inside.
Yep, that's a Night of Rage.
Yeah.
This place sucks.
Yeah.
Terrible place. This would have catastrophic global repercussions. Of course it would. Everything has, but especially that feels like it would. But yeah, everything seems to have terrible global repercussions at the moment. Over the course of the next year, and the lack of proper action from the government of the CAS would result in heavy global sanctions and waves of refugees leaving the nation. Though this would eventually result in the passing of a more firmly set Bill of Rights for metahumans and the election of metahumans to key government positions, new political parties would form within the CAS and cause its government to become almost parliamentary. In 2041, Aslan would declare the Roman Catholic Church a revolutionary organisation and would ban the practice of Roman Catholicism.
I see.
All right.
As you do.
Goes around, comes around, I guess.
How'd you like that, Pope John the 15th or whatever your name was? It's worth pointing out as well, by the way, that the world is still continuously getting rocked by storms, including a hurricane striking Colorado. Another issue that would start occurring would be plane incidents. Specifically, planes would fly a bit too close to great dragons and hit them, causing the dragons to kill everyone on board.
Hooray.
Okay. They're quite tough.
Yeah.
It turns out pretty hardcore. That art is... I saw that one. I was looking at it earlier. What a bit of artwork.
How do you miss that, by the way? How do you just be like, oh yeah, we're just flying on... dragon!
Maybe dragons are like... They don't show up on radar. I mean, that would cause issues, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but the pilot has like... Maybe. I was going to say, the pilot has eyes. Like, oh, look, there's a giant blue dragon over there. Maybe we should divert.
So does the dragon. Let's be honest here. I don't think we should be solely blaming the aircraft or the pilots on board. Dragons can also see, hear, and are magic. I feel like they should be able to hear a plane coming.
Well, I meant for them, they very much do. They're just like, yes, a snack.
Bring it on, bitch. I know who wins this one.
Uber Eats, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
This whole, planes hitting dragons thing would cause air travel to become fairly restrictive in some parts of the globe. Yeah. Understandably so. 2042 would see the end of a good chunk of the fighting in the various wars against Europe, but a series of events in a succession of days is fairly funny in a timeline sense. So, May 31st, in the Southern German League, metahumans are rounded up and sent to an area for something called the Eugenics Project.
Wow. Great start.
Jesus. June 1st, in the Southern Germanic League, long dormant volcanoes erupt simultaneously.
They're back.
June 2nd, in the Southern German League, the Eugenics Project is fully abandoned and all metahumans escape unharmed.
Well, what do you know?
That's something.
The amount of time between fuck around and find out was incredibly short there.
Yeah.
Anyway, 2042 is important for one real reason. The first episode of Dunkelzon's variety talk show Worm Talk would air.
Okay. All right, Big D. Whatever.
What a guy. So for the next 2 years, earthquakes would begin to happen more frequently across the globe, but some places would continue to rebuild. By 2045, the majority of Manhattan would finally be fully repaired, and parts of Europe would fully reunite under new names, such as the Allied German states. Sim senses would become more and more common, allowing people to walk around in a modified reality in their day-to-day and see things like adverts in real time. Yay!
Yay, real-time advertising.
Lovely.
Hooray.
But people would begin to watch things like wars as if they were sports. The Desert Wars, literally an actual war, are broadcasted live, and it becomes one of the most watched events in human history. Another thing that would become more and more common would be cyberdecks, where people can enter the Matrix and maneuver freely, much like the cyber heroes during the crash, connecting to their deck through specialized ports that are implanted into their bodies. However, those who would be exceptionally skilled would be able to bypass major security footholds and use their decks in ways that would make them semi-untraceable, and they would cause mass amounts of havoc, including the erasure of the results of entire elections.
Yay. What a fun world to live in, huh?
The people are starting to fight back by simply causing mischief. Nice.
And we thought hanging chads were bad. Like, Jesus.
These deckers would be more or less technomancers that are able to bend cyberspace to their will and would quickly become a very hot commodity. For the next few years, the world would still be gripped by violence as terrorist cells would become the norm and gangs would be as common as a normal job in the various metroplexes of the world. Some would be fighting for metahuman rights and would exact attacks of revenge against companies that had discriminated against metahumans. Other rebellions would occur from various races of metahumanity that would result in them setting up their own unique communes, tribes, and cities, and their autonomy would be aggressively fought for and defended against. The presence of companies like Lone Star Security Services and Dockwagon would become extremely profitable over the next few years due to this, and despite the fighting, magic would continue to progress. Full-fledged universities and nations would exist dedicated to the practice, but it would still be heavily monitored for fear of it being used for malicious intent. In fact, it was virtually impossible to exist in the Sixth World at this point without being monitored. Some found a way, however. Now we are finally up to 2050.
Let's go, I guess.
Still no word of the ICBM.
Damn.
You know, we've got plenty more episodes where it might show up. I don't know. If it doesn't, I'll be honest, I'm going to feel cheated. If it's not mentioned in any of the books, any of that gigantic list of books and PDFs, I want words with someone who can give us a resolution on that thing.
It's Chekhov's ICBM, right?
Chekhov's ICBM.
Yeah, it's Chekhov's ICBM. You gotta fire it.
So here we are, 2050, and metahumanity had become as prominent as humanity itself, and the best way to end out this episode would be with the back cover of the first edition rulebook for the tabletop game. So you've been absolutely, compared to last time, the number of quotes has been none. My voice, by the way, is wrecked at this point. So, DK, here you go.
In the world of 2050, the megaplexes are monsters casting long shadows. As Shadowrunners, that's where you live, in the cracks between the giant corporate structures. When the megacorps want something done, but they don't want to dirty their hands, it's a Shadowrun they need, and they come to you. Though your existence is not acknowledged by any governmental or corporate database, the demand of your services is high. You might be a technomancer, sliding like a whisper through the databases of giant corporations, spiriting away the only thing of real value, information. Or perhaps you're a street samurai, an enforcer for hire whose combat skills and reflexes make you the ultimate urban predator. Or perhaps a mage, one with an ancient gift, the ability to wield and shape the magical energies that now surround the earth. And that's exactly the kind of firepower you'll need if you get hired to make a Shadowrun. Dun-dun-dun!
Oh, yeah.
Not an awful place to live. Nice place to visit.
Yeah, nice place for a TTRPG.
Now, there is just a little bit more, because before we go, let's go back to the very beginning of this episode where we talked about Atlantis. Specifically, I said the era of the mundane began. Well, no, actually, it began with the sinking of Atlantis, specifically in August of 3113 BC, and resulted in the retreating of magic and the horrors that came with it. But the H in horrors should have been capitalized there, because the magic of the fourth world was plagued with a problem.
Cool.
Of course it was. Of course it was. The mana was so high in the valleys it left in its wake were deep, and something woke in those depths, something that would have a taste for mana and those who practiced it. From the long shadows of the netherworlds, the horrors would try to climb up and force themselves into the material world to feast. The great dragons would remember these spirits and other anti-magic entities, and though the horrors are still far off, the chittering of insects has been getting louder into 2050.
Ooh.
Insects that wait for magic users to let their guard down enough so that they can possess their bodies and cast their subconscious into the ether and spread their brood through the minds of the unsuspecting and the vulnerable. For now, they exist in the corners of society and as cult-like religious fervor, but in only a few years' time, entire cities will collapse and become one with these spirits. But we'll talk about that another time.
Yay! More horrors from beyond. Yay!
And then it got worse.
Yeah, and then it got worse. Oh, God. Well,
what a mad setting.
Yeah, that is a kooky, zany setting. You know, well,
I love it.
Race,
I
great
love
Western
it, but...
dragon, gender, male, role, 7th president. Thanks, Shy. Thanks for the biography. Yep, that's all right. Any parting words before we send this long train home?
I want to know more.
Where's the ICBM?
Where's the... I really genuinely want to know where the ICBM is. It disappeared so long ago, and it's literally like 50 years later, and we still don't know where the ICBM is.
What happened?
Wait, if a koala gets the HMH VV2, it turns into a drop bag.
That's not what.
Come on.
Oh. And I think that is the perfect place to end. See you all next time.